You've been told probiotics rebuild your gut, but what if I told you most of them leave in under 2 weeks? They're more like weekend repair crews than long term tenants, and yet they can still transform your gut, immune system, even your mood. Here's how. Hey everyone, my name is Marc Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach, and this is part of my question and answer series. Probiotics don't live in your gut. The truth they never told you. Alright, let's get to the question on this one. You mentioned that most probiotics don't permanently colonize the gut, but instead transiently pass through. This challenges a fundamental assumption many people have about probiotic supplementation. What does the research actually show about how long these transient bacteria remain active in the digestive system, and what specific mechanisms allow them to exert health effects during this brief window? Well, wow, that was a great question, and you're absolutely right. Many people assume that probiotic bacteria take up long term residence in the gut. In reality, research shows that most probiotic strains are transient colonizers, meaning they do not establish permanent residence in the microbiome, but can still produce significant health effects during their passage through the digestive tract. So, how long do transient probiotics actually stay active? Right? Typical duration. Studies indicate that the most ingested probiotics persist in the gut for 1 to 2 weeks at most after supplementation stops. Detection window. Viable strains can often be found in stool samples within hours to a few days after ingestion, peaking around day 3 to 7, diminishing shortly after stopping use. Colonization is rare. Even with daily dosing, true colonization, long-term integration into the native microbiome, is rare except under special conditions. For example, post-antibiotic use or certain specific strains that are designed that we found will do this. Right? So the idea here is if you're going to use a probiotic for a reason, the reason is to fix a temporary problem. Your gut normally keeps rebuilding its microbiome according to the way you eat, and it builds it around the type of foods that you eat. Okay? So, remember, many are only viable for hours to days at most. Some will last maybe even 3 to 7 days. A rare few will last 1 to 2 weeks in your gut. So these are not long term residents. They're there to fix a problem and move on. Okay, so how do these provide, even though they're transient, how do they provide health benefits? So remember, there are some good things here. Competitive exclusion of pathogens. They compete for adhesion sites and nutrients, preventing harmful bacteria from anchoring and proliferating. And that's good. Modulation of the immune system. Some strains interact directly with gut associated lymphoid tissue, GALT. They can stimulate anti-inflammatory cytokines and reduce pro-inflammatory responses. For example, TNF alpha or interleukin 6. Okay? So these can help. They protect against bioactive metabolites, or the production of bioactive metabolites. They ferment prebiotic fibers, if present, to produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, acetate, and propionate, which lower gut pH, improve intestinal barrier function, and serve as a fuel for colonocytes. But understand that a lot of these metabolites you get by eating a proper diet. Okay? One of the big ones is butyrate. Butyrate comes from eating grass-fed butter. One of the best things I always suggest you add to your daily meals. Okay? Enzymatic support. Some produce digestive enzymes, aiding the breakdown of lactose, oxalates, and fibers. And these might be some reasons why to take some of these. Okay? Especially if, as you get older, for example, one of the things that happens, and it's just a natural function, is that your stomach acid pH starts to just drop a little bit. It doesn't get quite as acidic as it used to be. And having a very acidic stomach acid is very important for breaking down fat and protein for you to digest. So, if you're older, right, and you're having some gut problems, one of the things you might do is take a supplement designed to help you raise the pH or the acidity of your gut. Okay, and I take one of these as well because I'm a little bit older and my gut pH has been dropping. Okay, so it helps you break down fat and it helps you break down proteins. Neurotransmitter and gut-brain effects. Okay, this is interesting. Certain strains like Bifidobacterium infantis and Lactobacillus helvicus have been shown to influence mood and cognition. Now, a lot of people hear about Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus, right? They go, oh, well, that Lactobacillus, that's in my yogurt. It may not be the same one. There are a lot of different Lactobacillus bacteria out there. Okay, it's a family of bacteria. So eating yogurt may not get you the strain you're looking for. But these help with the production of GABA and serotonin precursors. It helps stimulate the vagus nerve, and it helps lower systematic cortisol. These are good things. But you're looking for very specific ones, and a lot of times these very specific bacteria are in very expensive probiotics. And I always just eat properly. You don't really need to worry about getting fiber or probiotics. Okay? Here's a key insight from the literature that's out there. Even a brief residency of a few days to a week may be sufficient for a probiotic strain to exert physiological benefits by interacting with host tissues, metabolites, or resident microbes. Okay? And that's from Dr. Ellie Mitchenkoff in a study in 2020. So in essence, probiotic action is more like a visiting electrician than a roommate. They show up, fix or fine-tune systems, and then leave. And that's exactly what you want. So I don't suggest probiotics as a rule, right? I do say, hey, there are times when you want to take a specific probiotic or maybe a fermented food. It's a seasonal thing, okay? So in summary, most probiotics do not colonize permanently but remain active in the gut for maybe 1 to 2 weeks during the short-term consumption, assuming they survived the stomach acid to begin with, okay? So you got to be careful of that. Despite this, they can modulate immunity, crowd out pathogens, support digestion, enhance gut barrier function, and influence mood and metabolism. Okay? So, here's my big thing on this one. If you take a probiotic, or you eat a yogurt, or you eat a kefir product, or something like that, or a fermented food, and you feel good, keep it up. If you don't feel good, and you don't feel good for a day or two, maybe even afterwards, stop doing that one. It's not meant for you. Okay? Listen to your body. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the appropriate section. If you have some ideas, we are a community here. I'm trying to help you answer the questions you want answered. So let me know what you're looking for, and we'll do videos for you. And as always, if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, share this video with someone who may need it, and it helps build the channel. I appreciate it.